Hmm. All right. Looks like we're live. Just checking the sound. 1 second. Looks like we're live. Just checking the sound. 1 second. Looks like we're live. Just checking the sound. 1 second. Looks like. Okay. Hey everybody. Snow Himbo here. Thanks for tuning in on this beautiful Saturday here. I'd like to wish everybody a belated Happy Fred Durst Friday, which is kind of a back and forth on Twitter. Basically, I've just started wishing my coworkers a Happy Fred Durst Friday just because it confuses them and it amuses me. So anyway, I'm going to try to do the best I can here. So a couple changes have been made to the way I do these things. First major change is that I have told Restream Studio to go fuck itself. I've told the other studio thingies for these streaming platforms to go fuck themselves. I'm back at OBS. The reason for that is that traditionally I've always streamed using OBS. I've never. Hey CBC voter, how you doing? Thanks for chatting in. I've always traditionally used OBS. It's what I'm most comfortable with, and I think it's just like a far superior gaming platform. Especially for playing games. We had a couple streams, including my comeback stream, that was kind of choppy. There were some technical issues, and frankly, I don't really want to deal with that, and I don't want you guys to deal with that either. I want this to be an enjoyable experience for everybody. So yeah, that's kind of the deal with that. We're back with OBS, but we're connected to INN and the other networks, as you can see, because we're streaming from them. So yeah, it's really good to be back. Both with streaming, but also with with using with using OBS. Couple things. Perfect. Thank you for confirming, CBC voter. Yeah, I've never had any problems with OBS. It's always run games super great. It's always been great with audio. A couple things I'm going to work on for next week. I'm going to be making an introduction video. Just so it isn't just, like the waiting screen and then it just pops to my ugly mug and shit. Let's see. In addition to that, yeah, we're gonna be, another big change I'm doing is that, we're not just gonna be playing video games here. I'm gonna be covering some topics. So it's gonna be kind of like a mix. Because, it's the Indie News Network, not the Indie Play Games Network, right? So, the way I see it is we'll have some news in there, and we'll kind of mix and match, and, if chat wants to go off while I'm in the middle of a boss fight, let's fucking go. Let's have some fun. These are, as for the schedule, full transparency, this time on Saturdays is usually the best time I can do this. Because my wife's usually in bed and she does work weekends, pretty much every other weekend. So in weeks where she isn't working, probably gonna move it to a Sunday. So this is gonna be a weekend stream. It's gonna be for people to kind of come in, hang out, have fun, have some drinks, have a puff, have some healthy snacks, like some pork rinds or something, and you know, just have fun, unwind. You probably had a hard week. I had a hard week too. Let's see what's going on with me lately. I got some really good news. I'm kind of being considered for a promotion, which is really cool because it's like a really great like career move for me. And it was unexpected as fuck, just because like I haven't been with this company even 6 months, and they're already thinking of promoting me, so they're really happy with all my stuff, which is cool. But enough about myself. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about myself. Partially because there's more interesting things to do, and partially because I find it deeply uncomfortable in doing so. And that's after shitloads of therapy, so I think that's just me. I don't like doing it. Anyway, we've got a shitload of garbage to cover. I really thought that coming back, like, things would be better. I was praying after living under a rock for 3 months that, like, I don't know, maybe, like, something improved. Nothing improved. Somehow, this is upgraded from, like, a level 10 dumpster fire wizard to a, like, level 80 dumpster fire, like planar demigod, so to speak. So, oh my god, like, Jesus, y'all, I'm right in there with you. You know, I'm seeing all the like hyper focusing on Destiny because of his interview about the Palestine stuff. And to address that for a second, if you haven't figured out by now that Destiny is probably a Fed, I don't know what the fuck to say to you. You know, I will give a bit of advice for all of these people watching these like big streamers like Destiny and Vosh. It isn't abnormal to notice that they have the exact same talking points as like the establishment. They have the exact same like Red Scare propaganda, you know, like Cliff Notes as like the McCarthy era. This is all by design. Okay, these people are not on your side. They're not fighting for you. They are there. They are there to capture a demographic and propagandize them. That is the only point of BreadTube. That has always ever been the only point of BreadTube. Okay? It's a bunch of old people, a bunch of old fat rich people in a fucking room got together and thought, huh, we're really losing this demographic on the whole propaganda thing. We got the boomers covered, and Gen X is, you know, pretty good too. How can we get the youngins? Oh, I know. Let's get some streamers to like start dishing out the same stupid bullshit, but like from a streaming perspective. So that's that. But without further ado, let's get into some news. Let's see. First and foremost, first thing we got on the docket here, and I'm just gonna switch my stuff up real quick. Oh. Keep forgetting I have to press Windows to access this. One moment. Okay. Alright. So, yeah, the first thing we're covering, because obviously I have to fucking cover it, and I'm sorry, like, apologies in advance, this is making my face look even whiter than it normally is, but, I don't think there's a dark mode for this shit, so we're just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. Yeah, the House passed a TikTok ban bill, in case you're not aware. They're losing their mind over TikTok. And right off the bat, like, we kind of get why, right? It's another platform, much like the Bird app, where, you know, they're releasing information that they don't want to be sent out into the public. They are covering things that are not controlled. So obviously that's a problem. Because if they don't keep people thoroughly propagandized, then they like, people are going to be out in the streets. They can't keep this up, right? So, just gonna read along here. The House of Representatives passed legislation on Wednesday giving TikTok two choices. Find a buyer for the immensely popular video app or face a nationwide ban in the US. Fuck, I picked a good time to come back. Oh my god. President Biden has indicated he would sign the law, but first it must clear the Senate, which... This is going to be a slam dunk in the Senate. There's no resistance here. To quote the great George Carlin, as other people on this channel have, you know, bipartisan support is when an unusually large level of deception is going on, and that's exactly what the fuck's happening here. Several other anti-TikTok efforts in the Senate have stalled, and it is too soon to tell whether the House's legislation will meet a different fate. Whatever happens with this measure, it marks the first time a chamber of Congress has passed a bill that could shut down a social media platform, a move that civil liberties advocates say tramples on the free speech rights of millions of American users, which it absolutely fucking does. But they have to do that. The bourgeoisie, the capitalist class, needs to do this so that the proletariat does not realize how not only their labor is being exploited for different atrocities that we will fucking get into more in just a little bit. But you know, how they are being manipulated into accepting the actions being taken by their governments. TikTok, which is owned by Beijing-based tech giant ByteDance, views the House legislation as an existential threat, but not a novel attack, since the social media app has fended off numerous other attempts to put it out of business. So, what is different this time? Here's a breakdown of what you need to know. What exactly does the bill do? The bill gives ByteDance 6 months to find a buyer for TikTok. Which I pray isn't fucking Elon Musk. Because it'll just turn into, I don't know. You'll just start seeing CIA shit on there. I don't know what to say. We'll get into Elon Musk a little later, though. Because I got some choice words for what's happening on that front. If the company cannot sell the app in that time, it will become illegal for app stores and web hosting companies to offer TikTok, as long as it remains under the control of a foreign ad... Sorry. I already read this once to I already rehearsed this and I still can't stop laughing. Under the control of a foreign adversary. And in case you're wondering, like, is this just Red Scare bullshit? You bet your ass it is. This is absolutely just Red Scare bullshit. It's literally just China bad. Foreign adversary? Fuck out of here. What are we at war? That in turn would force Apple and Google to remove TikTok from app stores. It would also require internet service providers to make TikTok inaccessible on internet browsers in the US. Y'all. You just won't be able to see it. So, for example, if a lot of TikTok users were posting a lot of videos of I don't know, a genocide that was happening right in front of our eyes, you wouldn't be able to see that anymore. The only information you would get from that would come from channels that are curated by the ruling class. So, I'm trying to break this down as simply for everybody as possible, but I know most of y'all tuning in probably already know this. I'm just, you know, maybe someone new comes in and they're like, hey, what's this? Might as well, you know, help a fellow proletariat out. There is no way to make TikTok disappear for the 170 million Americans who have already downloaded it. But removing TikTok from app stores would mean that users would not be able to download any further software updates. And experts say that without the ability to update regularly, the app would become slow, glitchy, buggy, and rife with other problems to the point where using it would be just about impossible. In other words, TikTok would die a slow, gradual death rather than a swift demise. Sorry, give me 1 sec here. Oh, I gotta... Give me One sec. Window capture. We're gonna just... There we go. Cool. I'm getting better at this. Slowly. Okay, where the fuck were we? Goddamn. Just one second here. Just checking chat. Oh yeah, there is music in background audio. Yeah, yeah, I'm playing that on purpose because I think it's super cool, chill tunes. But let me know if it's interfering with your ability to hear me, because yeah, this is I'm rocking a new setup, so I want the best experience for everybody. I can definitely turn it down if y'all need me to do that. Or turn it off. That might be a little more chill. Sound mix is good. Okay, well, let's compromise, because, you know. In case you want to use this for your own stuff, it's look up 2 hour plus retrowave / synthwave mixtape. DMCA royalty free music for Twitch. I'm a huge fan of synthwave. I've always been a huge fan of synthwave. So that's what I like. But yeah, if you want to hear something else, totally open to suggestions. I want y'all to have the best experience you can. All right. Let's continue. What will the House bill mean for TikTok users? In the short term, users will likely not notice any changes. The app will work as it always does for the millions of Americans who enjoy it. And even if the Senate passes a companion bill and Biden signs it into law, which you know that fucking fossil's going to, because he doesn't know where he is anyway. There's a 6-month deadline to sell, which could be prolonged by court challenges. In the event that TikTok does become illegal in the US, it will be tricky to access the app, but there will be workarounds. People could turn to virtual private networks, or VPNs, to shield their location and get past restrictions. The technique is popular in places like Russia and China, where governments have prohibited many popular internet apps and services. I just like to note that's fucking hilarious. Because, like, they're giving the game away right here. Everybody, I can't throw a stone without hitting someone who's talking about how, like, authoritarian governments like Russia and China are for blocking, like, Western apps. And now the West is just doing the exact same thing. And they're even fucking, like, connecting the dots for people. They're connecting the dots right here for people. And they still don't get the mind-blowing hypocrisy here. Although the point that they're not getting and they won't tell you is that the reason why other governments block Western propaganda is because it's Western propaganda. They don't want their citizens getting propagandized the way that most of us fucking are. And that's just facts. That's just real talk. So, you know, strap that onto your skates and go play hockey. Who could buy TikTok if ByteDance is forced to sell? A very good question. Very few companies. As one of the most popular social media apps in the world, ByteDance would sell TikTok at a hefty price. TikTok is likely worth tens of billions of dollars, an amount this is important, an amount only the biggest tech companies like Google, Meta, Microsoft, or Amazon could afford. I'm gonna let you sit with that for a second. The only people who could buy this app, according to this convenient new government legislation, are massive corporations. Massive capitalist institutions. Yeah. Yep. Good. Glad we're all on the same page. I'm trying to help everybody connect the dots. Because this is not a hard thing to figure out, but you know, I'm a little, you know, I myself am not neurotypical, so sometimes I get very confused about seemingly normal things, so I'm just trying to help other humans out here. But the prospect of TikTok being acquired by a big tech firm raises instant antitrust concerns since the Biden administration has taken a tough stance against tech industry mergers that serve to inflate the size and influence of already massive companies. Have they? What is the stance they've taken? Have they written a strongly worded letter? What exactly is the stance? Because last I checked, apologies for the motorcycle noises. I live in the sticks, so there's going to be a lot of that. What stance have they taken exactly? I would really like to know. Are we doing like a strongly worded letter? Did he go up on the podium and read from a teleprompter that he's a little upset about the fact that we're owned by a handful of corporations that essentially are looking to enslave us and milk us for our labor while giving us virtually nothing back? Is that it? You know it is. As the Senate considers a companion bill, it is possible that lawmakers in Washington would use the House bill as leverage to try to force TikTok to find a non-Chinese buyer. But talks over selling the app have been going on without a resolution for years. What is the case that TikTok... This is going to be good shit. I haven't read this part yet, but I know it's going to be good shit. What is the case that TikTok poses a national security risk? I'm so fucking excited. I'm so fucking excited to read this. Sorry. Itchy ear. Catching up on chat for a second. What up, bad cookies? Always a pleasure to have you here. Hi, Dr. Nick. Thanks for chatting in. You're right, cookies. It is pure state propaganda, but I'm gonna let everybody in here, okay? It's depressing unless you're at the level of cynicism about our institutions that I am, and then it becomes really fucking funny. Because it's funny. You're like, of course they're doing this unhinged shit. Of course they're doing it. Of course they're doing it. I digress. Let's keep going here. Many in Washington, including lawmakers from both parties, of course. But the two parties are so different, right? They're not like two heads of the same... Nah. Don't think about that. You've had a little too much to think, sir. And top intelligence officials, no fucking way. This is all so surprising. Fear that the Chinese government could use TikTok to spy on Americans, push pro-China propaganda, or use the service to interfere in U.S. elections. Oh my god. First off, the hubris in thinking that the Chinese government gives two fucks about what we're doing over here. In case anybody hasn't figured this out about the direction China is taking, they're moving on without the West. And they've gotten a lot of other countries to move on without the West. Like, the world is abandoning the American empire and its adherents, like, up here in Canada. To date, lawmakers have not offered any evidence of the Chinese... I'm sorry. This is too good. Of the Chinese Communist Party. They have to... Guys, they have to include this word. They have to include this word. I guarantee you will never see a fucking article from any, like, bourgeois-controlled establishment that doesn't have this fucking word when referring to the Chinese government. Using TikTok as a weapon against American interests. American interests just means capitalist interests. It literally just means the interests of the rich and powerful who have enslaved your whole fucking country. That's all that means. That's all American interests means. Some critics of the bill say it is misguided if the goal is keeping Americans' data out of the hands of the Chinese government. The same kind of data that are collected by TikTok can easily be obtained by anyone who wants them by data aggregators and data brokers, says Jamil Jaffer, executive director of the Knight First Amendment Institute at Columbia University. The ban will be ineffective because China can access the same kind of information about Americans without TikTok. This is concerning because he's basically saying, like, we need to block all Chinese anything from America. That's kind of like the quiet part out loud a little bit, I think. That's actually really too quiet part out loud. That's a little scary. I digress again. But have there been developments that have troubled officials in Washington? Yes, of course there have been. Because their corporate donors went up to them and were like, hey, listen, okay? People are starting to think too much. All right? They're talking about like socialism and shit. We got to stop that. We got to get the youngins back on board the kiss your boss's nuts train or whatever. I don't know what the train is specifically. It's a train. ByteDance admitted in 2022 that former employees, but not government officials, have surveilled Americans on TikTok, including several journalists who were writing critical stories about the company. And last year, a former ByteDance executive said in a court filing that the Chinese government has in the past been granted a super user credential on TikTok, and that it was used to spy on Hong Kong protesters in 2018, something the company denies. I'd just like to point out that your government is spying on you right now. Here in America, here in Canada. Like, like, this is so funny. It's basically the West saying, like, if any other country does the shit that we're already doing to our own citizens, it has to be stopped. Because only we're allowed to do that. This is, like, the most collective narcissism I've ever heard in my life. What has TikTok said in response? TikTok has long claimed it has never received an inquiry for Americans' data from Chinese authorities, saying it would deny such a request. Any such request, rather. The company has also touted an initiative dubbed Project Texas, saying that all U.S. user data has been transferred to servers controlled by Austin-based software company Oracle, which is correct. TikTok also says Americans' data is now being monitored by third-party auditors in the US. The plan, essentially a data firewall, was intended to ensure that Chinese officials cannot access Americans' personal information. I'm sorry, do these boomers not understand how the fucking internet works? Okay, if someone puts that out, if someone puts some shit out into the internet, anyone can go look at it. That's the point of the internet. If you've got videos on YouTube, you're going to go to YouTube, you're going to watch those videos. And I'm sorry, if a government wants to see it so bad, they're going to figure out... Like, governments know what VPNs are, guys. Like, if an evil government or whatever wants to see this shit as badly as they do, then they're going to figure out a fucking way. It's just going to happen. It's going to be a thing. I'm sorry, it's going to be a thing. Just skimming the rest of this. I'm going to go down to the end, but, yeah, I'm gonna post the link for y'all in chat if you want to read along in your own spare time. Like Mastermind Hour says, TikTok could single-handedly save free speech. Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one of these platforms to gather enough fucking steam. All it takes is one of these platforms to gather enough fucking steam and it could completely correct the narrative. And we saw that with so many other areas. We're seeing this right now with Israel and Palestine. We saw it in the past with other atrocities that were committed. People having access to these platforms to blow the whistle and counter establishment propaganda this is the kryptonite. They need this to stop, which is why this shit is fucking happening. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna post the link here in chat. It's an NPR article. Free for anybody to look at, but if you guys want a copy just to kind of browse over, just because I'm gonna kind of skip to the end here because I do have a video from our friend Richard Medhurst, which I really want to get to because I think it's really, really good. I'm going to stop, pause, and rant for a fuckload of time because that's what I do because I can't shut the fuck up. But yeah, we'll get to that. So, what evidence does the government have against TikTok? If officials in Washington declassify national security information about TikTok, that could change the public's understanding of the app's threat. Yet some lawmakers are already questioning the basis for targeting TikTok. A handful of members of Congress who left a closed-door briefing about TikTok with top national security officials in the Biden administration a day before the House vote said officials did not back up the notion that TikTok is dangerous with any new information. Not a single thing we heard in today's classified briefing was specific to TikTok. Sarah Jacobs, a Democratic from California, told the Associated Press, "These are things that are happening on all social media platforms," which is true. But again, I want you to think, okay, again, they're saying the quiet part out loud. What they're saying is, this is still a problem, but it's not just TikTok. So you can take that one of two ways. One, you can take it in the way of like, they're communicating that like banning TikTok doesn't matter because there's all these other platforms that it happens on anyway. Or you can take it in the second way, which is they're saying this is a problem, but it's happening on a much larger scale than TikTok. So I'm just trying to like kind of be a little preemptive with this, because the discourse from this article at least appears to me like they're saying this is a big problem, but just not for TikTok. So you either take the road of like, okay, well then just throw away the problem, it doesn't matter, or you go the other route, which is, well, maybe we need to think of past TikTok and to other platforms, which is kind of what I think they're starting to float here. Because I feel like if this is successful with TikTok and they get TikTok basically yeeted out of North America, they're just going to take that as free reign to start clamping down on the other platforms. Until you won't be able to share a, for example, genocide happening in real time, in 4K if you will, on a platform for everybody to notice that like they're not being told the truth by people who should be telling them the truth. If the bill eventually becomes law and ends up in court, the government will have to demonstrate on what basis it is making a national security case against TikTok, Jaffer said. You can't restrict Americans' constitutional rights on the basis of secrets, he said. Okay. So, that's what's going on recently. They're really trying to clamp down on TikTok. And they're... What's that, cookies? Himbo, this is just the first step. They will come after independent media next. They will say things like INN is sponsored by Russia through Rumbler's Substack. Bro, they're already saying that. Okay, I've lost count of how many times I've been called like a Russian sleeper agent or like a Chinese Chinese communist. Oh, retro. It is. I just cover some news first. I'm trying a new thing, but we're gonna get to Rogue Trader after I get through the news, and then I usually hang out on chat. And while I'm playing, if you guys have any further context, obviously that's That's all good. So yeah, House picked TikTok ban bill. Fuck yeah. Good shit. Good shit. Let's see. What is next though? I'm not gonna play this whole video, but I did want to play a little bit. Gonna pause this for a second. I just want to play a little bit of this from our friend Richard Bedhurst, who has some choice words to say.
So the House in the U.S. Congress have decided to ban TikTok. Now, why have they done this? I'll give you the two reasons, because people think it's one reason. That is because of, you know, the fact that people our age, the youngins, those who are in their 20s, that are teenagers till their 20s and 30s, are listening to too much truth, that it's not good for them, and they're not brainwashed enough. So that is true, but it's also another reason. First of all, I'm going to play you the very obvious one. So this guy's from the ADL. Now, if you don't know what the ADL is, the Anti-Defamation League are an institution, an organization that have been around for decades, and their sole job, they claim that they fight anti-Semitism, but their purpose is really to go to people who are anti-Zionist and smear them as being racist and call them anti-Semites. So basically the function of any Zionist organization. Now, here's the head of the ADL, and I want you to listen to what he's saying.
Been on this show, we've talked about Instagram, we've talked about Twitter or X, and you've seen my back and forth with Elon Musk. But we need to talk about TikTok. TikTok, if you will, it is the 24/7 news channel of so many of our young people, and it's like Al Jazeera on steroids, amplifying and intensifying the anti-Semitism and the anti-Zion with no repercussions. I've got to ask, Joe, like there's been a...
Do you hear how he's like, he almost said anti-Zionism, and then he caught himself because he's intentionally conflating the two, right? They want you to think that if you criticize Israel, then that means you're criticizing Jews. No, that's exactly our point, that it's not the case, right? But anyway, I'll let him continue.
A lot of lamentations about the fact that TikTok's ownership is Chinese, but you know what? Oracle owns 10% of the company. General Atlantic owns a piece of the company. Our friends at Sequoia Capital own a piece of the company. So does Sequoia and General Atlantic, does Oracle want to be responsible for spreading anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism? It's time.
That's his veiled threat. Like, are you sure you want to continue? Because we can make this look very nasty if you want to.
Time to talk about TikTok.
All right. So in any case, this is, this is one of the recordings. I'll play you another one now. This one's from a phone call, it's a recording that was leaked, and it's just so funny. It's really the cherry on top. Just listen. So he's saying Jewish Voice for Peace. Again, this is a Jewish organization. And they of course spend their time attacking them. So you're allowed to be Jewish, but you have to love Israel. Otherwise you're a problem. In any case, I'll let him continue. And here he goes on in another one. Hear the rest of the phone call in this one.
The issue in the United States support for Israel is not
I think the whoever wrote the subtitles meant Hamas, but okay.
Was justified.
Shabazz.
Shockingly and terrifyingly high. And so we really have a TikTok problem. The issue in the United States.
Yep. So he's explaining that it's a generational divide. It is. It is absolutely a generational divide, and that is what makes it so problematic because you can't get out of it.
And the funny thing here, and the thing I delight in the dystopian hellscape we're all falling into, I really recommend finding the little joys. The thing that delights me the most about what's going on right now in this world is that what's happening is that the rich and powerful, their propaganda is not working on younger people. It's just not. You've got a whole generation that is demolishing like Red Scare propaganda at like scarily effective levels. They're just not fucking buying any of this. And the ruling class, all of what you're seeing is just like escalating frustrations because they can't brainwash these people the same way using the same tactics that they brainwashed previous generations. And I honestly think at the end of the day, they don't know what to do other than just take the fucking toys away. They're like, okay, we just can't let them talk to each other because maybe like if they're not able to communicate or share anything, then we'll just force our information to be the only information they have. I don't even think that's going to work, really. I think they'll figure out another fucking way around it. It's so great. Oh, man. But, yeah. Hey, Golden Monarch, thanks for chatting in, homie. It is past our bedtime indeed. That's because I don't sleep, because I am a vampire. Richard Medhurst was caught buying Dogecoin. He is lost. Great. I mean, shit. Like, y'all know this about me, but you know, if it's a good take, it's a good take. If it's a bad take, it's a bad take. I don't care who gives the take. A good take's a good take, and I do like some of Richard's takes. So take that how you will. Anyway, let's continue for a little bit more, and then we're gonna move on.
You can't get out of it. You can't get out of it. And this is the only age group. If you look at all the age groups in the United States, they all support Israel, right? They've all been brainwashed by the establishment through the education system, by the media. But because young people, we don't watch television, we don't get our news from legacy media through print, radio, or television. We get our news online. Well, this opens up far more possibilities and far more doors and far more, deeper and potent access to knowledge, right? And so they hate this. And it's very funny because, when you talk about being a democracy, of course you should have a free press. Of course you should have access to information. They go on and on about, oh my God, look at this is repressed in Iran, and look at this is repressed in Syria. And then this is how they speak. So that's why they're banning TikTok, because people are learning too much about Palestine. And I have to admit that I may have done a video or two that went viral on the platform. So I'm sorry I got TikTok banned, but it's
Me
okay.
too. Me too.
Cause.
I did a couple TikTok videos. You can look me up on Snow Himbo, obviously everywhere, but yeah. And the thing is, like, that platform, holy shit. I don't know how the algorithm's set, but like if you spitting on there, like you could go far. I've had some serious like anti-capitalist takes that have gotten wings, and the problem is the establishment they don't have any recourse. They can't control it. So because they can't control it, they need to ban it. They need to remove the information. They need to remove the wrong speak. This is how close we are to complete dystopia, by the way. Anyway. Thank you to Richard for that. I appreciate it. I have notifications. I'm not checking them because I'm with you lovely people today. Let's see. Hey, Kit. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Don't worry. We're getting to that Warhammer. I can't wait either. But yeah, I'll just, you know, I'll switch back to here for a second. So I'd just like to hammer a point home here. Okay, with regards to the whole TikTok banning bullshit. With regards to all of this, basically, the TLDR of all of this is that start looking for this in any single platform where there isn't control. Any single platform where there isn't some kind of control around the dissemination of information. So, for example, you saw during the COVID era, if you said a wrong thing, okay, and my take has always been the same, okay, the only way to counter bad information is with good information. If you take away the bad information, people aren't going to fucking know better. And they're going to get that bad information elsewhere. But if someone's wrong about something and they're corrected, even if they don't admit they were wrong, it's going to sink in somewhere. So correct bad information with good information, always, across the board. If you have a good rebuttal, if you have a good take, then it's going to land. You always need to give people that ability. When you remove that ability, the only thing you're favoring is bad information. Because whenever you only allow one sort of information to get through, there's a chance that information could be bad information as well. Like we've seen. We all live through the weapons and mass destruction madness, okay? We all live through this shit. We got it. We all, you know, like... So that's my thing there. I think, because I always love to give people next steps when it comes to this shit, here's the thing. We need to speak out really fucking hard when it comes to this TikTok ban, because if we don't stand up and make a stand, and I hate to reference the trucker rally, but I think it's a perfect example, because we haven't seen any of this mandate shit since those truckers got up and disrupted Capitol. They didn't even dare do this shit again. It didn't happen. All right? You don't have to get a 50-second jab or fucking get banned from going to Loblaws or you know, the DMV or something. We need to push back against this because it doesn't set a standard. If everybody passively accepts TikTok getting banned, the establishment is going to take that as like, oh, sweet. So we can just do this for every single platform that has wrongthink or things that contradict the narratives we're trying to cram into people's heads. Okay? We got to fight against this. Got to keep speaking up about it. But I will say, it's kind of pointless. Because you know what? At the end of the day, there's going to be another TikTok. Right? There's going to be yet another, there's going to be another platform that shares things that people don't want us to see. I'm a little on the fence about Rumble, for example, but you know, as far as I know, you can share stuff on Rumble and not get someone please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I've been out of the game for a bit, so if Rumble's up to some shenanigans, fucking tell me. All right, I'll look into it. So, I mean, there's always, I'm always going to have the same thing. Unless they, like, figure out a way to just block the internet, period, and just, like, completely curate the whole internet, which I think they'll even find a way around that. But unless they figure out a way to do that, there's always going to be a new thing that is like, hey, check out this crazy bullshit these assholes are doing. Anyway. that's the news when it comes to banning TikTok, because of course they can't have any videos of the ongoing. I'm gonna keep saying the word genocide. I'll keep saying genocide. I'm just gonna keep saying the word genocide until everybody realizes we're witnessing a genocide. When it comes, no, Himbo, the plan is to get the internet to be a subscription. To be honest, fair. I think the internet might become pay to win one day, where it's like you got to pay like $5.99, and then you like click a loot box and it tells you like how many minutes you have for the internet for the day. That might fucking happen. I don't know. I don't know how capitalism we're gonna get here. We're already at like max capitalism, but if anything in my 30 some odd years of being on this planet has told me, it's that you can always max out the capitalism further. So there is that. Next on the docket, though, I have to preface this by saying this is going to piss all of you off. It's going to piss you off a lot. But just try and adopt the level of cynicism I have and laugh at it, because if it doesn't make you laugh, you're probably going to throw your chair out the window. It's probably going to hit someone's cat. That's not going to be good for the cat or your chair if it's a big cat. So I ask you guys to try not to get too triggered over this. But if you do, it's understandable, because I got so fucking triggered over this. That, yeah, it wasn't good. I was big mad. I was huge mad. So let's get into it. Let's get into it together. I'm just setting it up here. Oh my god. Oh, fuck my life. Okay. We're gonna get into it. Don't worry. We're gonna go into it. Yes, it's Bill Maher, but I'm sorry. Like, I can't believe this dipshit got worse, but he somehow did. So we'll all listen along together.
And finally, new rule, being obsessed with your mental health is bad for your mental health. I've been thinking a lot lately about a puzzle many are struggling with. Why are Biden's approval ratings so low when things are generally pretty good? Now, of course, there are problems. America's a big place.
Why does nobody like Biden when everybody's so fucking happy? I love this fucking turtle.
But wages are rising, unemployment is negligible, the stock market is soaring. We saw
The stock market's soaring.
Presidency and the pandemic. Yes, inflation persists for a lot of things, but you know, an actual good, nice-sized TV now costs $60. Who gets credit for that?
Yeah, guys, you can buy a TV for $60. Which, by the way, where can you buy a fucking TV for $60? Where's this $60 television he's talking about? Because, like, we had to get a new TV and it cost, like, double, triple that. So I don't know where he's talking about this new TV for $60.
We've got next day shipping, stuffed crust pizza, legal.
Oh, we got Amazon, guys. You hear that? Don't worry about the debt you're in or the bills you struggle to pay each month or the stagnating wages that don't even keep up with the cost of living. And yes, like, you should notice that he just batted away the whole inflation thing. He's like, yeah, you know, it's more expensive, but we have stuffed crust pizza. Anyway.
Weed, GPS, and porn on the phone.
Yeah, but Bill, none of that fucking matters if you're having panic attacks every day because you work 8 hours a day for most of your life and you're still struggling to make rent. Porn on the phone doesn't matter then. You can't afford the stuffed crust pizza. You can't afford the weed even though you need it to get through your day after working fucking overtime for 12 goddamn hours a day just to make sure that you don't end up homeless next month. You fucking juggalo. No offense to juggalos out there, but this is very juggalo behavior, like negative juggalo behavior, not like the fun, like Fago juggalo behavior. Okay, sorry. I'm already getting I gave you guys a trigger warning. I'm triggering myself. Anyway, let's keep going.
cheer the fuck up.
Cheer the fuck up, guys. Be okay with being poor. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Stop acting like life in America in 2024 is unbearable. Biden's...
Stop acting like your perception of how unbearable life is. Fucking... Oh, the audio is very low? Uh-oh. You can't mask your Juggalo hate anymore, Himbo. Okay, hold on. I think I can turn that up. Anyway, read chat. Don't believe your lying wallet. Bill's just another morning Joe copycat. Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of people who trigger me more. Like Vosh triggers me to shit just because I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Okay, let me up the volume here for old Billy boy. I never thought I'd say let's up the volume for Bill Maher, but fucking I digress. There we go.
His ratings are in the toilet, not because he's doing such a bad job, but because a lot of Americans like to live with their head in the toilet. Let's look at the numbers. Almost a third of American adults have reported a depression diagnosis at some point in their life. And while depression is, of course, a very real thing, it's also true that earlier generations never suffered from the expectation that you're supposed to feel good all the time. 1 in 8 adults are on antidepressants, and that doesn't include the ones who steal them from their kids. And the kids? The newest TikTok challenge is self-diagnosis of mental problems, because what's more of a hotbed of mental health than TikTok? In 2022, the CDC...
I'm just going to circle back here and point this out. This came out right around the same time. Right around the same time, y'all. Right around the same fucking time as the TikTok ban came into play. Okay? Right around the same fucking time. And right off the bat, this turtle-like ghoul creature, this runny-eye goblin, if you will, is just right off the bat he's gonna shit on TikTok. See, guys, this all happens in lockstep. All of it.
CDC released the results of a survey on teen mental health, and over 40% said they feel persistently sad or hopeless. And antidepressant use among young males is rapidly rising, unlike their dicks. Now, without a doubt, antidepressants can be life-saving for those who need them, but here's the thing. About 3/4 of Americans who are on them haven't been diagnosed with depression at all. They just want a magic pill. We spend $6 billion a year on drug ads, all featuring someone emerging from darkness to play with a dog. And all with the message, you're a sad sack of shit, now take this. Also, and don't get mad at me, I'm just citing statistics, but the people who really shouldn't be that bummed out but are acting like it anyway are exactly who you think. White women. An estimated 35% of whom are on antidepressants, although in their defense, have you seen the prices at Lululemon? These gals are so distraught they can barely keep their appointment with the Vietnamese girl who does their nails. Calling Dr. TikTok. But every bad feeling isn't a disease, and Americans really need to stop pathologizing everything. No one's just sad anymore. They're clinically depressed. They don't merely worry, they have chronic anxiety. Do you like things neat and organized? That's OCD. You're bummed when it's cold out? Seasonal depression. Hate being alone? Separation anxiety. Bored? That's ADHD. Shy? Social anxiety disorder. Why? Because you don't want to go to the office party? Nobody does.
Okay, this part is triggering me to oblivion and back because the level of gaslighting it takes or the level of ignorance, or both, to just hand wave shitloads of mental disorders and completely miss the point entirely. Okay, like, being bored isn't the same as ADHD. None of these things are the same. Not a single one. And I've studied psychology, so I can fucking spit about this. Not a single one of these makes even a modicum of sense in his little fucking boomer diatribe here. Because the problem, and the reason why these are disorders, is because A, they affect your ability to function. Okay? Being sad doesn't. Being bored doesn't. Being bummed that it's cold out doesn't. They're disorders because it's right in the word, disorder, lack of order. They affect your ability to function. And B, it's because they're a disorder because they are happening at a above the bell curve level. That would be like saying everybody who has narcissistic traits, which is everyone on the planet, you have at least one narcissistic trait. You have to be a little bit narcissistic because if you had zero narcissism, you wouldn't feed yourself, you wouldn't take care of yourself, you'd fucking die. Okay? It's a spectrum. That doesn't mean everybody has narcissistic personality disorder. Okay? It's on a spectrum. So, like, you can be sad, right? But if you have feelings of sadness to the point where it affects your ability to fucking function, that's like a night and day thing. Okay? This dude just gets on the fucking HBO tube and just gaslights people. And I'm not here for it. I know that's his point. I know that's why he fucking exists. But I swear to God, like, this is even worse than the normal turtle shit posting of this turtle shit poster. I don't know why I keep calling him a turtle. He just looks like a turtle. Does he not look like a turtle? He looks like a fucking turtle. He's very turtle-esque, if I will. Sup, Applejack? Bill Maher just needs to go. I agree. Oh no, not the I like turtles crap. Spit, psych nerd. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. Like, TLDR, like, you can't just hand wave serious disorders that cause distress in people's lives as normal human feelings. Okay? That's not gonna work. And furthermore, I just like to say, like, as a note, of course Biden is going well for a rich fuck like Bill Maher who has everything handed to him. That's who the Biden presidency's for. It's not for the workers, like in his company. It's not for the technicians or the makeup artist that cakes on the 5 layers of mud that cake his face so he looks less like fucking Dobby's diseased uncle. Okay? It's not for those people. It's for him, the star. And the people, the way richer people who are profiting off him. That's who the Biden administration's for. That's why to him, he's like, everything's great. I don't know what they're talking about. I wake up, I wipe my ass with $100 bills. I smoke this weed that they grew on the moon. Like, I don't know why they're so sad. I go for a vacation in my 28th fucking cottage. Like, these guys are babies. They gotta toughen up. This is like the weakest bootstrap dialogue. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, let's get through this because I'm about to throw a chair out the window too.
Best case scenario, you have too much fun and it leads to getting fired.
My ear's itchy as fuck, sorry.
Are you moody? No, you're bipolar. And some people are bipolar.
Are you moody? No, you're bipolar? Okay, maybe he'll correct himself.
And some people are on the spectrum. But sometimes on the spectrum is just a hall pass for being a jerk.
What do you mean on the spectrum, Bill? The DSM has a very clear criteria for bipolar disorder. You either meet it or you don't. There's no spectrum. Okay? Like, that's why okay, so to explain, for a diagnosis, for the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, there's a bunch of criteria. There's like 9, and you need to meet like 5 out of 9 to have a diagnosis. If you have under those, you don't have the diagnosis, you just have like traits. So for example, if you, a hallmark of like borderline personality disorder, for example, is frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. Now, that's 1 out of 9 traits for BPD. If you just have abandonment issues, you don't have BPD. You just have one borderline trait. So his writers are so skull-fucked in like how simplified they're making psychology. Okay, sorry. It's not even about psychology. I have a bigger point to make about this.
I'm clinically an asshole. Nothing I can do. Yes, you are on the spectrum, but so is everyone else alive. That's why they call it a spectrum. And it's not noble to glom onto the soft end of it.
And that's why there isn't a spectrum bill. That's why we have criteria for diagnosing mental disorders. Because people thought of this before you and your turtle writers did. This isn't like a new revelation you're fucking having. You goddamn potato brain. Jesus fucking... Okay, we're getting through this and we're moving on because I'm starting to get heated.
PTSD is for people who fought in Iraq, not for people who want to bring their dog on a plane. There are people in America with real problems who deserve to feel sad, but sometimes a bad day is just a bad day. When you constantly reinforce this message that no one's just a normal human with normal struggles, but we're all permanently fucked in the head, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe the solution is much simpler, and you just went a week without sleep or sunlight. Maybe you have problems that could be solved with vegetables.
Bill, I don't know how to explain this to you, but most people can't pay their heating bill with vegetables. Okay? You can't put vegetables in the bank. Also, to the best of my ability, I don't know if you can cure any of the, like, 10 or 11 mental disorders that you just hand-waved as normal human emotions. I don't think you can cure them with vegetables. I don't think you can eat some fucking celery or some kale, and all of a sudden, you don't need your lithium, and you can just go out without having a manic episode. I don't think that's how any of this works. You absolute sick shit clown fire of a person.
Or exercise. Studies have shown that while antidepressants can be effective in serious cases, for most people, exercise is even more effective because exercise helps you get laid. Whereas antidepressants just make you listen to podcasts about murder. A couple of months ago, Elmo, the Muppet from every screaming toddler's iPad, wrote on his Twitter account, "Elmo is just checking in. How's everybody doing?" And Twitter responded like he was the suicide hotline. "Wife left me. Daughters don't respect me. My job is a joke. Any more questions, Elmo? Elmo, I'm gonna be real. I'm at my fucking limit. In the grand scheme of the universe, our existence is merely a blink, devoid of inherent meaning or purpose." And Elmo wrote back, "You think you have it bad? Try living your life with a guy's forearm shoved up your ass."
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, like, that was an okay punchline. It wasn't great. But, like, exercise is effective, but it's not a joke. I'll be the first one to talk about how important exercise is. But what Bill Maher doesn't get, and you saw it with a dumb joke, no, it wasn't. I mean, I'm saying, like, for Bill Maher, it was okay. Kerp wrote that line. Calamity 2007. The punchline is the one I hear whenever Muppets are involved. I'm not gonna lie though. Yeah, you're right. I have heard the like, you know, he's a Muppet. He's got a hand up his. I get it. The thing that Bill doesn't get, obviously, because he's not in our class, he's not a member of the proletariat. He is the bourgeoisie. Is that the common denominator in all of this is like everybody's stressed out because it's hard to live because they don't have enough purchasing power to support just basic functions. Okay? Like, yes, of course everybody's on antidepressants. You know why? Because living under late stage capitalism is fucking depressing. It's anxiety inducing. You shouldn't spend all of your time working for someone else and still worry at the end of the month about like being homeless, for example. Okay? And yeah, exercise is great, but guess what? After someone just worked 12 hours, and just as an update, I don't know how you guys are doing, but half the people I know at this point are working a second job on top of their just normal fucking job. They're working a second job. So they work the 8 hours a day, and then they get off, they take maybe an hour break, and they go work some more hours. So when it comes to exercise, it doesn't really leave a lot of other, it doesn't really leave much more time in the day now, doesn't it? You just work, and then you work some more, and you go to bed so you can be well rested for working some more, so you don't end up fucking homeless. That's where we're at. That's where millions of people are at right now. So yeah, exercise is great. But you know what? A lot of people aren't doing well enough to be able to hit the gym for an hour or two. I'm sorry. For a lot of people, that's just not doable. Also, you got to afford a fucking gym membership, which unless you have a great company, thankfully mine kind of handles gym memberships. But, you know, that's not like... This is what I can't stand about these fuckers. They're all just such out of touch fucking takes. They're all such out of touch takes. We're just like, Bill Maher is the equivalent of that meme that they made about Mitt Romney when he was running, where he's just sitting and it's like, why can't poor people just buy more money? That's Bill Maher, the whole show. That's his whole fucking show. Real Time with Bill Maher is, you might as well call it like, I don't know, Starbucks Time with Bill Maher. Because goddamn, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't with this shit. I cannot at all. All right. Well, in that case, I'm not going to torture you guys with any more of Bill Maher's takes, but I wanted to do that to kind of just put a finger on the pulse of like how fucking bad we're doing here. like just fucking, just how bad the gaslighting's gotten on, like, you know, your normal shit lib channels, and I'm sure the conservative ones are even worse, so. But yeah, the TLDR there, Biden's fine, everything's great, how dare you be sad about anything, and your problems don't matter. But let's move on. This is a great one. What the fuck? Oh my god. Is it really forcing me to... Oh my god. Continue without supporting us. There we go. Thank you. Sorry. Musk's SpaceX is building satellite network for U.S. intelligence agency. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse. This is what Elon Musk is up to. SpaceX is building a network of hundreds of spy satellites under a classified contract with the U.S. intelligence agency, 5 sources familiar with the program said, demonstrating deepening ties between billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk's space company and national security agencies. I'm just going to highlight that. For all the people who think Elon Musk's on their side, I'm just going to highlight this right here. Okay? Deepening ties between this guy's company and national security agencies. But of course, he's fighting for the people. He's definitely doing that. The network is being built by SpaceX's Starshield business unit under a $1.8 billion contract signed in 2021 with the National Reconnaissance Office, an intelligence agency that manages spy satellites, the sources said. The plans show the extent of SpaceX's involvement in U.S. intelligence and military projects and illustrate a deeper Pentagon investment in a vast low Earth orbiting satellite systems aimed at supporting ground forces. If successful, the sources said that the program would significantly advance the ability of the U.S. government and military to quickly spot potential targets almost anywhere on the globe. The contract signals growing trust by the intelligence establishment of a company whose owner, sorry, I can't speak today, has clashed with the Biden administration and sparked controversy over the use of Starlink satellite connectivity in the Ukraine war, the sources said. The Wall Street Journal reported in February the existence of a $1.8 billion classified Starshield contract with an unknown intelligence agency without detailing the purpose of the program. Reuters reporting discloses for the first time that the SpaceX contract is for a powerful new spy system. A new spy system with hundreds of satellites bearing Earth imaging capabilities that can operate as a swarm in low orbits, and that the spy agency that Musk's company is working with is the NRO. Reuters was unable to determine when the new network of satellites would come online and could not establish what other companies are part of the program with their own contracts. That's how we're doing, guys. That's how we're doing. That's literally how we're fucking doing. The free speech for the people advocate guy is just working with the feds. He's just doing a little fed work as a treat, you know? How much more do we have here? Oh, this looks good. SpaceX, the world's largest satellite operator, did not respond to several requests for comment about the contract, its role in it, and details on satellite launches. This is so good. The Pentagon referred a request for comment to the NRO and SpaceX. In a statement, the NRO acknowledged its mission to develop a sophisticated satellite system and its partnerships with other government agencies, companies, research institutions, and nations, but declined to comment on Reuters' findings about the extent of SpaceX's involvement in the effort. The National Reconnaissance Office is developing the most capable, diverse, and resilient space-based intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance system the world has ever seen, a spokesperson said. Which I'm just going to fill in the blanks here, should terrify the shit out of fucking everybody. You should be shitting and pissing and farting and coming over this. This is terrifying. It's terrifying to me, should be terrifying to you. The satellite can track targets on the ground and share that data with U.S. intelligence and military officials, the sources said. In principle, that would enable the U.S. government to quickly capture continuous imagery of activities on the ground nearly anywhere on the globe, aiding intelligence and military operations, they added, for your protection. Roughly a dozen prototypes have been launched since 2020, among other satellites on SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets, 3 of the sources said. A U.S. government database of objects in orbit shows several SpaceX missions having deployed satellites that neither the company nor the government have ever acknowledged. 2 sources confirmed those to be prototypes for the Starshield network. All the sources asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to discuss the U.S. government program. The Pentagon is already a big SpaceX customer, using its Falcon 9 rockets to launch military payloads into space. Starshield's first prototype satellite, launched in 2020, was part of a separate, roughly $200 million contract that helped position SpaceX for the subsequent $1.8 billion award, one of the sources said. Oh, this is going to get creepier. Just, if you followed along, you've already spotted it. The planned Starshield network is separate from Starlink, SpaceX's growing commercial broadband constellation that has about 5,550 satellites in space to provide near global internet to consumers, companies, and government agencies. And guess what, guys? Once everybody's on the same internet link, they can censor the fuck out of it. That's exactly what they're going to do. The classified constellation of spy satellites represents one of the U.S. government's most sought-after capabilities in space because it is designed to offer the most persistent, pervasive, and rapid coverage of activities on Earth. This is my favorite. No one can hide. One of the sources said of the system's potential capability when describing the network's reach. That's right, guys. My man said no one can hide. Fuck. Oh my god. God damn it. Please post link. Absolutely, Nick. Here we go. Sorry, I should get better at this. I will get better. There's the link to this. Let's see. There's just more context here. You guys can read along if you like. China also, of course, there needs to be a what about China somewhere. I swear all of these follow the same script. They got to do a what about China because if you get to this point of the fucking article, you're already concerned. So they got to be like, but China, right? Eyes on the prize, people. Don't focus on what we're doing. Look at the big bad China, what they're doing. That's exactly the play here. China also plans to start building its own satellite constellations, and the Pentagon has warned of space weapon threats from Russia. China and Russia. So, this is like the play, guys. Okay? This is the fucking play right here. Whenever the West is doing some bullshit, they just say, but China or but Russia or but China and Russia. And that, I don't know, that somehow brainwashes everyone to just look over there and be scared instead of focus the crazy bullshit that's happening right at your door. And yeah, that's that. Just go back to original here. So that's that's the news I have for this week. I'm gonna be honest, it's thanks, I hate it. It's all terrifying. But none of it is surprising. To summarize, they're banning TikTok because people are tuning into TikTok and they're getting counter narratives to the propaganda they're doling out, and they realize that younger generations, those are the generations they need to have. They need these new generations brainwashed because they're the workforce. And the younger ones are about to become the workforce. And they're all watching TikTok. So they can't have that. Or they got to force TikTok to sell to an entity that they can control. So it's okay, you can have TikTok, but now Amazon owns it. Or Facebook owns it, for example. And all of a sudden, all those videos that were sharing the truth, if it's owned by the Zuck, well, those accounts get banned now, don't they? So that's that. Thank you guys for hanging out for the news section at least. So for the next part of this, we're going to dip back into some Rogue Trader action. I have missed being Knight Commander. So we're going to have some fun there and continue the story. I will be doing a recap and just getting people caught up. Also, people who have tuned in thus far. We're going to kind of go through everything together. And we're going to continue the journey for as long as I can. I will say, though, for a little bit, I do need to do a BRB. Just to just hit the bathroom and grab a little bit of a snack. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually... Okay, so I made a cool image right there. I think I forgot to add audio, though. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick BRB. I think I fucked that up because I switched to the other one and then I forgot it didn't have any audio or anything. So actually, what we can do better is oops. Snow needs up this card game. It's true. I'm working on a bunch of things. So I'm working on like cool cards that I can toss in. I'm working on an intro video. I'm working on an outro video. If you play the Bill Maher video again, I promise you guys I will not fucking do that. I promise. But I will bring the tunes back. And then what I can do actually... Hold on. Put that in for now. I will be right back, y'all. There we go. And we're back. So, I want to get a poll of everybody in chat. What is your favorite late night snack? Because my favorite is honey roasted peanuts. I don't know why. These are like my favorite. These are literally my favorite snack of all time. I don't know what it is about them. They're great. They're a little salty. They're a little sweet. They're not carby really, because technically peanuts are kind of keto because they have more protein More protein and fat than actual carbohydrates. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Nick, that's... I'm not gonna lie, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are like a fucking huge weakness for me too. Absolutely. Okay. So without further ado, we are going to get into some fucking Rogue Trader. Just gonna get set up here. We'll see how it goes. Like, I don't think it'll be choppy at all because I've never had problems when it comes to OBS. Those are nice frames, Snow. Thank you. I'm actually overdue for ordering some new glasses. Fresh pop popcorn? Oh, fuck yeah. I love popcorn. Because honestly, like, the thing with popcorn is, it's so, but honey roasted peanuts aren't exactly keto. The ones I get, they still have, like, the correct ratio. So, like, the carbs are still lower than, the protein and the fat. And as I understand keto, it's like you need more fat than carbs. Anyway, we are going to get this party started here. So just give me 1 second. And we're gonna get set up for gaming. We're going to turn this off for now. We're going to switch to no background so you don't see this giant weird block. And then we're going to get set up for game capture, which is going to be Warhammer 40K. There we go. All right. And now all we got to do is hop over. And we're going to hit continue. I love these peanuts. They're incredible. I just got new glasses last week, but I need to suck it up and accept the bifocals. I mean, bifocals can look pretty dope though. Like, it really depends. And let's see. Alright. So we're back with Rogue Trader. I'm gonna get us a little bit all caught up here. So where we are in the quest is the Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencius desires to personally meet with the person recently brought aboard her flagship. A storm is brewing over the dynasty, so Lord Captain has something important to share with her heir, if she ever gets the chance. But we also have Find the Arch-Militant. The officer's desk is under attack by an unknown enemy, so Arch-Militant Mort has left to clear the way to the lift leading to the upper decks. The officer has not returned yet, so it is time to find out the cause of the delay. Uh-oh, what is going on here? Oh, goddamn. Okay.
It's about time.
Okay, it looks fine now, I guess. Just kind of lag for a second there, I guess. That might actually be my bad. Okay, so let's select... Is it just me right now? I guess it is. Oh man, that looks so smooth. Okay, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, from now on, we are doing OBS forever. This is such a better experience than...
A new challenge for me?
Studio. So what do I need to do here? I guess we need to go over here.
Victory awaits!
I think. I'm not sure. I'll go talk to him again so he gets annoyed. I think that's the best thing to do.
None shall stand in my way.
Okay. So we might just need to... Yeah, we might just need to go to the upper decks, because this is where the fog of war is.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Uh-oh. Y'all, we're about to get into some fisticuffs. Oh, he got shot dead. He got fucked up. He got real fucked up. Goddamn. Konrad Voigtvier. Let's out a sigh of relief upon seeing you. Thank you, Providence. You are alive and well. Mort. Always on time, eh, Konrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it. Konrad pointedly looks away from the arch-militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. Mort, the arch-militant looks back at you. What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. Uh-oh. Some shit's going down, y'all. Pretty sure. Theodora. Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? And again, whenever you're confused about a term, they highlight it. So like Voxnet, piece of technology used to communicate over short distances. Warp madness. Warp, an alternate dimension of pure energy and madness existing as a mirror to real space, also known as the Immaterium, the Empyrean, the Ether, the Sea of Souls, or warp space. Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and who they serve? Report! Continue. Konrad Volkvier. I have not received word from the Enginarium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. Vorktivir pauses. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. And we have a selection of options here to choose from. Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? A mutiny is against the Emperor's anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. We must provide immediate assistance to those on the middle decks. Perhaps we might stop this wave from spreading. And if this is indeed a severe case of warp madness, then the situation is dire. So, what do we want to respond with? I want to vote from the chat. 1, 2, 3, or 4. How do we respond concerning this warp madness? Do we want to just be like, what? I don't know? Do you want to go all fashy and just like kill everybody? I'm always down for some murder hobo. Y'all know that. We must provide immediate assistance to those still on the middle decks. Or just like, this sucks. Alright, we got a 2. We got a 2. Let's execute the traitors. Strike first, take them out. Alright, I'm calling it now. We're going for 2. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Theodora looks at Voigtvier. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psycho aboard the ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. Conrad, I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18. Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics on the way. Bahardor. Theodora glances at you thoughtfully. Conrad, if I may, Lord Captain. Voigtvier's voice is soft and cautious. Transitional Deck is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Arch-Militant. And taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers. Alright, so we need to discover the whereabouts of Edelthrad. Then it's settled. Barador, find Edelthrad and bring him here, in whatever state you find him. This elevator, she points at the massive doors, leads to unrestricted compartments such as my personal chambers in the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? Alright, I'm just gonna say I hear and obey. That's a call I'm gonna make. Alright, here we go. Conrad gives you a nod. Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk and you do not even have proper gear. I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket for something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. Oh! I promise you a special destiny, Bahardor. It's time to fulfill it. I wonder what Snow is snacking on. Oh, Retro, it's honey roasted peanuts. It's like my go-to snack. What can I tell you guys? I just love putting some nuts in my mouth. I love some salty nuts in my mouth. That's my favorite. Please don't clip that. Actually, I don't care. Clip it. In fact, spread it across the internet.
Careful, careful. be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber.
Uh-oh.
And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Voigtmir, you two-faced scum. You're the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself.
Oh, I like this. It's finally doing, like, voice dialogue, so I don't have to, like, voice it myself. Let's see. I'm putting that in your Grindr account. Your wife is gonna be pissed when she finds out you have a Grindr account. My wife watches these, so she'll probably understand the context. Sadly, but well played, sir. Grape, I have an addiction for chocolate peanut butter cups. I don't know what it is. Like, fucking chocolate peanut butter cups are just, they're like crack. I don't know what they put into them. But like, Reese's has always been like my biggest weakness when it comes to like any sort of sweet shit. Any sweets whatsoever, it's like Reese's is like my... Yeah.
We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of it. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Alright. What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? I guess
On
we
the
gotta do
contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Coercions. Oh, we succeeded at coercion roll. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy? You sordid, wretched piece of grok shit. That's great.
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
What up, Indy? Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench, Fon Valencius, watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
You hear an echo feedback loop? Does anyone else hear an echo? There's a specific reason I'm asking this. Skill tests and dialogues. It's on your end. Yep, there it is. One of the available dialogue options requires making a skill test. So, like, if you're familiar with RPGs, this is where it, like, tests your skill. It's like it tests like the skills you have to determine like what like decision you can make. The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous. Your head is spinning, and then quiet. Whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a single urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. And then you start violently shitting, and it covers the whole floor. I filled in the blanks, y'all. Fight the voice in your head. Get out. I'm not your puppet. I will do as you require, but I will find a way to make you pay for this. Enough threats. I will comply with your demands. I'm fighting him. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step forward towards the gates, looming in the center of the chamber. Alright, so we gotta go to the gates or some shit. I don't know. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Tech use. Okay. We got 45 tech use, so we got a 90% chance to, like, win this. Nice. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as a material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. Continue. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human being could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. Sorry, I just gotta look. Did I drop something? Hold on. 1 second, y'all. I think I dropped my vape pen. What the fuck? Where'd it go? Oh well. I'll look for it later. Let's continue. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voigtveer wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine the sentinel. Okay, I'm not placing my hand in the sentinel's maw. That's like, fuck, no. Gonna get my hand cut off or some shit. There's some Baldur's Gate 3 crap that's gonna go down. I refuse. Twice. Look back. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. I'll just examine it. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with a copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. Shit. We're going to be forced into placing our hand in the Sentinel's maw anyway. For sure. 100%. God damn it. Okay. I'll just put my hand into it. The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Uh-oh. I think I fucked some shit up. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from. Crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Who is this?
Genetic code identified. Child of House von Valancius. Do you require assistance?
You hear a displeased grunt in your mind, as if the lurking entity has sent something that is not to its liking. Yes, Sentinel. Traitors threaten my life and the safety of the Warren. Yes, I do require assistance. I suppose this is the onset of the warp madness they warned me about. I must have lost my mind. I'm gonna go with this. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Indy, running smoother than Restream? Dude, this is like night and day. I have no words for how much better like this is running. It's great.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Some shit's happening, y'all. Oh no. Oh, they all got burned down.
There is still another way.
Oh, fuck me. Oh no. We burned everybody. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, well. I just murdered everybody.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
Okay, well, I'll fucking do just that. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Okay, great. I'm so glad the mobile unit is standing by. I need a unit immediately. I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless. Correct. I am indeed utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Uh-oh. I need to contact someone, preferably Theodore.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Found it. You have no army in this game? That's correct. So, unlike a lot of Warhammer games, you don't really have an army. This is CRPG, so you'd have like a party of adventurers, but it'd be like 6 people, 4 to 6 people. So you'd command like a tiny like unit. I said unit. In place of the mechanical screeching, the server skull's Vox projects the voice of Theodora von Valentius, distorted and ridden with static, yet still recognizable beyond a doubt. Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator's Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Alright. This is just explaining the journal function, which we already kind of looked at. So basically you can just access your journal like this to kind of get like updates on your quest shit. So I'm just going to follow this jabroni for now.
A new challenge for me.
I admit Rogue Trader looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm having fun so far. It's fucking dope. Alright, so...
I'll lay claim to the stars.
what do we need to do here? Is it following me or do I need to follow it? Okay, it's following me. Alright.
None shall stand in my way.
Nothing really there. So let's go around here. And again, no one must reach the warrant. A simple order to the Sentinel Cogitator will lock the chamber. Okay, so I think I just need to interact with this. Or do I need to click it? Or wait, I think I just need to interact with this. Do I not? Yeah, I think I do. Nope.
It's about time. Doubt is for the weak.
Shit. I've run into one of those classic like RPG moments where it's like
weakness.
It didn't give you enough context on what to do, so you just gotta fucking muddle around until you figure it out. Okay.
Follow my lead.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Seal the warrant chamber. Alright, we're sealing the warrant chamber. There we go. We're probably gonna get into a fight.
Master? What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voitier is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Okay, but like... Hold on. For me or Seneschal, you were asking too many questions.
I would be glad to follow formal protocol, Master. But I am obliged by the circumstances to view this situation as an extraordinary one. And therefore, one that permits deviations from our accustomed procedures.
Oh my god, that's good. Bad cookies. So in 40k lore, is this before or after any Starlink spy satellites? I feel like this is like way after, like we're in advanced like bullshit now.
You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Oh, thank God. Finally, we got some fucking gear. Jesus. God damn it. Alright, find a weapon. Finding a weapon is great. I like finding a weapon. Alright. We're gonna equip that. Oh, dude. Y'all, look at this. Look at my guy. This is dope as fuck. So first off, I would just like to point to how incredible this mustache is right here. Look at his mustache. Okay? God damn. Look at this. I'm dual wielding an axe and a pistol. Oh, and I get new armor. Oh, look at that. Okay, that is sleek as fuck. Look at that stuff right there.
Absolutely not.
Alright, and I guess I can't use the medical kit.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis. and weigh
Okay,
every
so...
step. Sometimes, though, you just
I'll
buy
have
your
to...
biggest
Okay.
cat and save
So I
the
can
day.
use the medikit on me to heal me.
That is a
There we go.
noticeable improvement. The lower decks are teeming with
Okay.
heretics instigating
Cool.
the rabble to revolt.
Good shit.
But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication... The bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on.
Shit, that's not
But
good.
that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
The Navigator Sanctum. Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
Alright, let's do it. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who
The
have
Lord
dared.
Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Alright.
The Emperor is with us!
I will level you!
Oh shit, we gotta fight, y'all. Here we go. Start the battle. Wait, does it... Hold on, does it not have music? I can't imagine an Owlcat... There we go. Alright. That's better.
Not my specialty. Let's see how they respond to this. Nothing I can... You didn't stand a chance!
Kill that bitch. He dead as fuck. Alright. Can I charge still?
Already done.
Oh, nice.
Nothing of value.
Oh, I got that guy too. God damn. Alright. Let's fucking go. Let's see.
Not
At
a
all
problem for
costs?
me.
Can I do that too? Alright. Oh, I like how you can speed it up. Okay, so Abelard is also warrior, so we're both kind of tanks, which is good. I can charge too, so I think I can kill this bitch too.
Victory is imminent. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call. Reduced to dust.
Oh, kill that guy too. Damn. Alright. Can I get a charge in too? I don't think I can.
Indeed.
Oh, I can. Oh. Got him. Alright, we're doing pretty good, y'all. We're doing really good. Gosh. Gosh golly. As they will. Alright, these guys are gonna beat us up though. Actually, no, we're doing pretty damn good. Alright, take this jabroni out. Got him.
I took care of this.
Oh! Alright, we're almost we're there.
It will
I think
be
this
done.
is a wrap. Yep, this is a wrap. Experience points. Oh, did I level up? Oh shit. We got loot. Oh, nice. Alright, so to cargo or to inventory? Collect all. There we go. Oh, nice. Okay, you can just loot it in, like... Okay, great. We had a fucking scrap.
A
Now
new
getting
challenge
outta here.
for me?
Zone map. Okay, cool. So this is like the world map, I suppose, so... We're just gonna zone to the Navigator's Sanctum, I suppose? Good shit. Oh, that's what. Okay.
The navigator's sanctum is directly along the passageway.
Alright. We're gonna save
God Emperor
this.
that we are not too late.
Because, my friends, unfortunately, it's coming up to the time that we're gonna need to wrap this up. Mostly because I need to go to bed. It's almost 2 in the morning. So I think we'll say goodbye to this for now. But goddamn, that was fun. Way fun. Oh shit, I still got that image. Gotcha. One moment. Sorry, I'm still figuring out my workflow here. So, this won't be a problem later on. Good show tonight, Snow. Thanks, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this went a lot better than I thought it would. We had some good articles, we had some good chats, we did some fucking gaming. I'm still loving Rogue Trader. I think it's fun as hell. I love the lore of the series. There's just so much in it, right? Okay, so what we have on the horizon is for the next stream, what I'm gonna game is I'm probably going to do a Project Quorum thing. We've got like a cool like player-made event, which I think might be super fun. I'm sure there's going to be more stupid bullshit that happens next week that I'll have to cover. It's probably going to trigger me too. So, for the time being, love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, keep questioning everything. And, yeah. I'm with you on this this perpetual decline into the end of late stage capitalism. Thanks everyone so much, and have a great night.